हरि ओम दीर्घायुष्मान भव स्त्रीभ्यः दीर्घ सुमंगली भव कन्या स्त्रीभ्यः शीघ्रमेव विवाह प्राप्तिरस्तु सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु. So I am continuing the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. My chapter is 6 and in English. So Arjuna was last time in part 5 we saw Arjuna was perplexed. Chanchalam me manah Krishna, that's what he says. And Arjuna also says, Arjuna, you see, he was a Kshatriya. Everyone knows he was a warrior and he is destined to fight. He has to fight when the occasion comes. But here he has been indoctrinated with the dharma of ahimsa, which is in his blood because he is a Bharata Desha Praja. So, if you have this type of ahimsa, even if you are a Kshatriya, a warrior by profession, the force of the indoctrination of the doctrine of ahimsa or non-violence is in him because of Bharata Desha culture. So he says to Krishna, again he says, Gurun Hatva Ahatva, Gurun Ahatva hi Maha Anubhavan Shreyo Bhoktum Bhaiksham Api Iha Loke Hatva Arthakaman Tu Guru Ni Haiva Gurun Eva Gurun Iha Eva. So Guruni Haiva, when you join it comes Guruni Haiva Bunjiya Bogan Rudiram Pratigdhan, he says. So I'll give you the word by word meaning and the anvaya, and let us see the analysis. So Gurun Ahatva. So Hatva Ahatva. Without killing the Guru. That's what. Hatva means after killing. Ahatva means without killing. Without killing. That's Gurun. Gurun means all the Gurus. Dvitiya Vibhakti. Like Ramaha Ramo Ram, Guruhu Guru Guravaha, Gurum Guru Gurun. We get the Dvitiya Bahuvachanam. Plural. These Gurus and Maha Anubhavan. That is all these people, experienced people, and they are Maha means noble, great elders. That's what it means. So Ahatva, without killing them, Shreya Bhoktum, to eat. Bhaiksham, begging. Bhaiksham api also. Bhaiksham api ihaloke, in this world. Loke is Saptami Vibhakti. Lokaha Ramaha Ramo Ramani Lokaha Loko Lokan, like that in Saptami when you come in or on or amongst. Ekavachanam. Loke, in this world. Then that is without killing. Without killing Gurus and Mahanubhavan. All the Mahanubhavans. I mean all the noble letters, without killing them itself. Shreya Bhoktum, to eat. I will get a very Shreya means enjoyment, a good enjoyment. By begging is better. By begging also, without killing my Gurus, I get a Shreya Bhoktum by begging here in this world. So I like to beg, that's what he says. And then he goes next words, Hatva, after killing, Artha Kaman, Artha means financier, means money, Dhanam, another word. Artha Kaman, tu, but. So tu we'll take separately. Artha Kaman, Gurun Iha Eva, means there will be a plus a becomes I. So Haiva it becomes. So Guru, the Gurus. So Hatva, after killing these Gurus, what is the point? Artha and wealth and the Kaman, all the lust and the enjoyment. Artha Kaman, then Bunjiya Bogan, for eating food. Bunjiya Bogan means enjoyment. Bogam means generally a lot of meaning is there. Food, eating, Bhojanam and all we say. No? So Bogan, Bahuvachanam. Bogan, Udhira, Pradigdhan. Pra is a upasarga. Digdhan is smearing or applying. Rudira, what is Rudira? Blood. That means he's having arrows. So, tainted with blood and killing my gurus and trying to enjoy is not good, because compared to this, he says, without killing them and by begging, I can eat the food. That's what he says. I can have a better Shreya Bhogan, I can have Shreya enjoyment, Pavitram, more happiness without killing my gurus and by begging in this world than Hatva, after killing them. Hatva Arthakaman too, but after killing them, Gurun Iha Eva, Guruni Haiva, Gurun Iha Eva, here Eva, like this, Bunjiya, eating, killing and eating the Bhogan, the food or the enjoyment, that's what it means, Bhogan. It is like Rudiram Pradigdhan, it is smearing blood in my arrows, killing my gurus after killing them and trying to enjoy the food. What is the purpose? He is asking something like that. He is asking, what is the purpose? My arrows are smeared with the blood of my gurus and trying to enjoy after killing them all this artha and kama. And better than that, ahatva, without killing them, without killing them, that's what my guru and all the noble elders, I will get a Shreya Bhogan even by begging in this world. So I prefer to beg. That is in summons, the meaning of the verse. This comes under chapter 2, verse number 5. Verse number 5. The meaning of the verse is, I would like to have the Bhogam, the pure happiness, by begging without killing my guru and elders. Instead of killing them and eating with my blood with the blood smeared, applied, with the smeared in my arrows, seeing the blood after killing my gurus and eating and enjoying all those lust and dhanam, money. What is the point? He is asking the question. Without that ahatva, I want to enjoy by begging also, because that enjoyment is Shreya, he says. See the beauty. Now, why I want to tell you is, especially to the Western missionaries, you have not gone through these chapters some time back, say 300, when you came to India to convert our Hindus. See, if you go to Old Testament, I am coming to Old Testament. You please go to Old Testament, go to Exodus chapter 32, verses 27 and 28. Then go to Leviticus chapter 26, verses 7-8. Joshua chapter 6, verse 21. Judges chapter 10, chapter 21, verses 10 to 24. Then Samuel book 1, chapter 15, verses 2 and 3. Then Psalms chapter 137, please read this, verse number 9. Then go to Isaiah chapter 15, verses 15 to 18. Then go to Isaiah again, chapter 34, verses 2 to 8, even 9 and 10 you can see. Then go to Jeremiah chapter 50, verses 21 and 22. Then go to Ezekiel, Ezekiel, chapter 9, verses 7 to 9. In all these verses, if you see, everywhere the God of Israel will ask their Israelites to go and kill Babylonians or Jerichoans or Babylonians or Edom, I don't know how they pronounce it, kill them, all the Philistines more probably. And in Joshua, I have already told you, chapter 6, verse 21, God is asking them and to go to the land of Canaan and kill everything that breathes. And in Psalm 137, chapter 137, verse number 9, go and dash those kids against stones. The small children, go kill them in such a way, dash them against the stones. And some verses, the children will be found dead before their own idols which they are worshipping. So idol worship is banned. So if they do that, their dead bodies will be found before their own idols. And in Exodus, I told you 32, chapter 32, and verses 27 and 28, God asks Moses to go and kill all those people in Amalekite city and other things. And Saul is also there. In other verses, Saul means, I think, is Paul only, especially in Samuel 1 book. Samuel has got 2 books. You go and kill everybody in Amalek city. Go everywhere, killing. Total violence. But later on, if you see Acts, ACTS, Acts or Revelations or Galatians, everyone they'll say love their neighbors, treat your neighbors as you treat yourselves, or treat them as your God, or do service to neighbors and all. Because all these things, I would say, they all came to India in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th centuries, saw our land of ahimsa, where the Vedas say, where we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, and they have started incorporating all these doctrines in their own Bible later on, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th century, till such time the final version called the King's James version came in 15th century, accepted by the church. That's all, samaptam, no further changes. 550 times I was told the Bible was written, at least several times it has been written. And even, see, the olden land, even in Old Testament, even in Quran is nothing but Old Testament mostly. The names are also common. Yaqub, Jacob, Ibrahim, Abraham, Yusuf, Joseph, Maria, both are same. Fatima is found both in Islam and as well as in Judaism or Christianity. That means there was violence. Even 2000 years before the Common Era also there was violence. Babylonians went and attacked Jerusalem in 723 BC and all, looted there, burnt. The temples were burnt. King Solomon's temple was burnt. King Solomon was the son of David. His temple was burnt. Then that's why the God of Israel says, go and attack the Babylonians. Jericho they call. Go and attack the Jerichos, Philistines, Pharisees, Canaanites. See, there was a political war and it was totally violence. Go and kill them, dash them against stones. And if you come to even New Testament, I was surprised when I read Matthew 10, verse number 34, where Jesus appears to say that I have come not for establishing peace, I have come with a sword. And somewhere else he says, go and sell, even if you sell your garment and buy a sword. More shocking was when I read St. Luke. I think they call Luca, I don't know how they pronounce St. Luke. Chapter number 19, verse number 27, you see, Jesus says, those who do not like my reign, my rule, my reign, bring them before me and slay them and kill them. I have explained all these things in Bible verses, Bhagavad Gita. See, that means there was violence, but later on they also tuned themselves to ahimsa, not himsa. Ahimsa, when they came to India slowly, I can bet they had come to India 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th centuries, slow by slow, along the Baluchistan, Sindh, northwestern province of Pakistan, all the territories belong to Pakistan, started getting the ideas from Bhagavad Gita, Uddhava Gita, Ashtavakra Gitas, Vedas, Upanishads, about Atma, about non-violence, ahimsa, and then they slowly incorporated as the days passed after the Common Era, 2000 years back, in 4th century AD, 400 AD, 500 AD, 700 AD, 600 AD, 900 AD, 1200 AD, all they started one by one, because Bible is not very big when you compare to our Vedic literatures. They put everything in New Testament, so New Testament has got very good thoughts, philosophical thoughts, like do service to others. These are all welcome. They are there, absolutely. But they were mixed like violence like this. So here you see a warrior like Arjuna, a great warrior. He's not a coward. A great warrior, sharpshooter, best archer. But he had the divine quality of ahimsa, and even though being a Kshatriya, the philosophy, the doctrine, the principle of ahimsa has been so well, profoundly indoctrinated in him that he could not come out of it, even though he was in the battlefield, not in the house. He was in the battlefield, and as per destiny, he has to fight. That is his karma. But he refuses because the genes took over him. The genes of ahimsa. So why should I have my arrows stained with the blood of my gurus and my noble elders? Instead of that, and enjoy the dhanam and the wealth and the food and all the lust and all the moham, instead of that, I will beg. And then without killing my gurus or noble elders, ahatva, without killing them, without killing them, I will have a shreya bhogan, I will have a pavitram, I will have a pure enjoyment. I don't want to kill. See, the violence in Western world is not what we think. Right from the time when even 2000 years back, as I told you in Old Testament, but after that also 325 AD in Constantinople, then when they converted into Christianity, and then Alariki, a barbarian, came and looted Rome. Every time there will be a fight, because I've gone to all those places and saw and verified some historical facts too. Violence, then there was a holy war of crusaders, Muslims fighting, Christians fighting, Muslims will say Allahu Akbar, and these people will say, Oh Lord Christ, all in the 10th, started 1031 AD. After 1031 years after the Common Era, say 1000 years after the Common Era, lasted up to 1350 AD, Muslims fighting. Then the Ottoman Turks conquered Istanbul, and then from there they went to conquer. From there they went to conquer Constantinople, Istanbul. All they conquered, and they had all these vassal kingdoms, that is small princely kingdoms under their control. They are the rulers, but those people have to pay tribute. For example, you must have heard of Dracula, the prince. He was actually the prince of Wallachia, that is Bulgaria now, and Targovishta was the capital. When Mehmud II, that is Mehmud I, Mehmud II, Sultan of Ottoman Empire, Turkey, from Istanbul, that Vlad Dracula, the prince, who was his vassal, that is his subsidiary Raja, he has to pay tribute to Sultan Mehmud. He was not paying, so there was a fight, and when he went there finally to Targovishta, what he could see was even his own relatives and friends, and even the relatives of this Vlad Dracula were all impaled. What is impaled? Spear, a slightly blunt spear driven through the anus, and they don't drive through the heart, because you will have to suffer for a longer time. If the heart is killed, the man dies immediately. See, that was the idea of technology of cruelty which we have never heard. And also in the United Kingdom, King Charles was beheaded. They say Oliver Cromwell and all, we do not know, but he was beheaded. Louis XVI, guillotine, he, his wife, everybody in the French Revolution. The Tsar, the third Tsar of Russia, he, his wife, 5 children, 4 daughters and 1 son. All were taken to a separate room in the guest house, butchered, kept there in the guest house as their guest for 2 years, moved from Moscow to Siberia under the name of protecting them from the revolutionaries. But finally, they were all sentenced to death and assassinated. See, that type of violence was existing. Historical records prove. In India, maximum, there was a skirmish between the cousins, and that too not really, because Krishna's soldiers were fighting against Lord Krishna. And there were a lot of rules. And finally, Kunti Devi went along with Gandhari and Dhritarashtra to sannyasa and to leave their mortal bodies. They were consumed by fire. The only war you can take is the Kalinga war, where Ashoka really felt very sad and became a Buddhist, became a ahimsa vadi, like our Mahatma Gandhi. See, our land is like that, our culture is like that, ahimsa, which world is following now. Now Europeans have mellowed, are following Mahatma Gandhi's concept of non-violence, because they would have learned the Vedas, where it states, the Upanishads. But now they have slowly started following, and so that is why I want to emphasize, even Arjuna had the gene of ahimsa in his blood. So the more of it I shall continue in my next part. Till such time, Bhuyat Tavat Shubhamangalam. Hari Om.